श्रुति स्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, Lakshmi Ganesh, go ahead and unmute yourself. Fifth chapter. अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः।
अर्जुन उवाच
अर्जुन उवाच
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण
सन्न्यासं कर्मणां कृष्ण
पुनर्योगं च संशसि
पुनर्योगं च शंससि
यच्छ्रेय एतयोरेकम्
यच्छ्रेययेतयोरेकं
तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
तन्मे ब्रूहि सुनिश्चितम्।
श्रीभगवानुवाच
श्रीभगवानुवाच
सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
सन्न्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
करावुभौ
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
अयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते।
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते।
ज्ञेयः स नित्यसन्न्यासी
ज्ञेयस्य नित्यसन्न्यासी
यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति।
यो न द्वेष्टि न काङ्क्षति
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो
निर्द्वन्द्वो हि महाबाहो
सुखं बन्धात् प्रमुच्यते।
सुखं बन्धात् मुच्यते।
साङ्ख्ययोगौ पृथग् बालाः
साङ्ख्ययोगौ पृथक् बालाः
प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः।
प्रवदन्ति न पण्डिताः
एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक्
एकमप्यास्थितः सम्यक्
उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्।
उभयोर्विन्दते फलम्।
Okay. So we are now starting the 5th chapter. Once again, I seek the blessings of Swami Dayananda ji and all the acharyas of Arsha Vidya Parampara and all other acharyas who have come before us and who have taught us so much. And I seek all their blessings, including Sri Krishna's blessings, Dakshinamurti's blessings, so that they may continue to bless us and continue to help us to study this, continue studying the Bhagavad Gita with chapter 5. So, as we saw in the last class, Krishna summarized the 4th chapter after, in the 2nd chapter, teaching about Sankhya Yoga, which is the yoga of knowledge, Jnana Yoga primarily, which means the knowledge of what Atma is. What is to be known here is who am I? And it appears like I go round and round and round, and finally people are asking me, do you know yourself? And that seems to be the life journey, is to go around everywhere and then finally come back to myself. So he said that, talked about Atma, and then right away jumped, even though Arjuna did not ask, really teach me about Atma, he did not say. Shishyasteham shadi maham prapannam. Okay, I am your student. I am confused. And I am confused about whether to fight this war or not. And I'm going to hell if I do this. All this he was talking about. I'm going to create havoc in this society. All that he said. He didn't say, I don't know who I am. Please teach me about Atma. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. And so Swami Siddhapadanandaji says, it looks like Krishna had some pressure to teach. And so with Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Ashochan, Anvashochastam, you are worrying for things that you should not worry about. And then suddenly Avinashutu Tadvidya and all, it goes on. And what is this suddenly Atma Vidya and all? Krishna, I think Arjuna may have been a little surprised as well. We don't know. So, but in any case, chapter 2, for our benefit at least, we've got that Atma Vidya introduced. Tvam pada vicharaha. Tvam. Tat tvam asi. So in that, tvam was talked about in chapter 2 and through chapter 6 as well. And then in chapter 3, Karma Yoga was talked about. Krishna said that Karma Yoga is important. One has to be prepared in order to study this. Anybody can study, but like any subject requires preparedness, this subject also requires preparedness. So that is role of chapter 3. And chapter 4, Jnana Karma Sannyasa, again combining the two, Jnanena Karma Sannyasa. And then how does he conclude? He says, Tasmat, look at verse number 42, the last verse of the 4th chapter. Tasmat Ajnana Sambhutam Hristam Jnanasin Atmana. With the sword of knowledge, cut these doubts you have. All doubts you have should be removed, eliminated from with this weapon of jnanam. And then do after that what? Uttishta yogam atishta. Yogam atishta. So take to karma yoga. That's how he concludes. So now it looks like the Gita is over now, because Jnana Yoga was talked about, Karma Yoga is talked about, and everything else he is going to talk about later will fall in these categories only, even though some different names will be there. So essentially the main topic is over. And Krishna said, Tasmat, therefore, and still But Gita is not over. Krishna thinks it's over. But Arjuna is going to ask this question now. So, what is the question he's asking? Briefly, let's look at that. He's saying, Sannyasam karmanam Krishna. Hey Krishna. Hey Krishna. Karmanam sannyasam. Karmanam sannyasam means renunciation of actions. Karmanam sannyasam of karmas, do sannyasa. Do sannyasa of karmas means what? Renounce karmas. And tvam shamsasi, you praise sannyasa, right? You praise the negation of karma, cessation of karma, renunciation of karma. You're praising. So much you said. And then punaha, once again, yogam cha shamsasi. Punaha. Yet you also praise karma yoga. That also we saw. And so, tell me, please, you're praising both. And so why not just teach me? Why not just teach me? Let me just, knowledge is what gives you moksha, you said. So what is this? You're asking me to do activities, do my dharma, etc. And dharma is already over. So let me just teach me. This is tell me clearly, what should I do? Again, he's asking that question, which he asked in the beginning of the 3rd chapter. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana. Karmanaha jayasi. There he says superior. Jayasi. Karmanaha. Mata buddhi. Buddhi means there jnanam. Jnanam is superior to karma, you have said. Then tat kim karmani ghore ma. Gore karmani. In this very, it's going to be a nasty war here. And why are you engaging me in this war? Same question said in different words in the 5th chapter. Therefore, we have a 5th chapter. And Bhagavan Bhashikara, Shankara he's written 4-5 pages of introduction before going to this first verse. And Shankara is explaining to us why Arjuna should ask this question. He spent so much time writing a commentary on that. See, look at the connection. They want us to follow every sloka properly. Not simply translate, let's say a few words and explain some words here and there, pick up the 3 dictionaries and then say. Not like that. This is our life. So they've spent so much time on this. Shankara writes 4 pages of commentary on this. And justifying why should Arjuna ask this question. Okay, so we are going to look at that now. Okay, most of today's time will be spent on that. Okay, so there is a contradiction. Why there is a contradiction? Karmani akarma yah pashyet, akarmani cha karma yaha sa buddhiman manushyesh. Correct? So it is very clear there. Okay, you in every action you must see in action. And you must see that actionlessness Atma. Atma is akarta. This is clear. This must be crystal clear to you. That is what he said. It is not some kind of belief. Oh, I believe what you say, Krishna. Atma is actionless. No. Do you understand or not? This is the question. And so you don't have to believe what I said. You have to understand what I said. And so that has been said. Okay. So jnana karma sannyasa. By that knowledge, karma is given up. Once kartrutvam is gone, doership is gone, then karma is gone. Karma happens, but karma is gone as far as the doership is concerned. We've seen that. And then why should you say yoga matishta at the end, towards the end? Karma yoga matishta, get up and take to karma yoga. It's very awkward. You go to the doctor and doctor tests everything and says, your sugar is 400. Have you been testing your sugar last few months? Okay, no, we have not tested. Okay, we need to take your HbA1c. And then test the HbA1c, some high number is there. And so he says there is a problem is very obvious. Your sugar is a bit high. You need to minimum start taking some tablets. You may also have to take insulin. That is what he should say. Instead, if the doctor said, okay, now from tomorrow onwards, you have a regimen. Start with 2 gulab jamuns in the morning. Like that, if he says, then what is the connection between this advice and what the diagnosis? There's no connection at all. So Arjuna is saying, what is the connection? You've just praised knowledge so much. I was beginning to, you've just excited me so much, and now you're giving me the advice. Go back to what you are supposed to do. You're saying that is the contradiction here. So, you pull the ear means you just pull the ear like this. You don't have to go like this and do like this. So when we were young, we used to say long cut, because long cut is the opposite of shortcut, right? So I don't think there is a word called long cut in English. Long cut is not there. But we used to say, as kids, we used to say, "Arey, wo wahan mat jao yaar, wo to long cut hai." Long cut. So we don't worry about language. We worry about communication. We are extremely good communicators. So when we say long cut, that person understands exactly what I mean. So purpose served. So Arjuna is saying, what is this long cut? And this sounds like a long cut to me. Why not just take to knowledge? Because nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitramah vidyate. You already said all that. I remember all that. I've not forgotten anything you said. And therefore, his question is understandable. So he's heading towards sannyasa. He wants to say sannyasa. All along, I've been watching sannyasis in my society, and now the time seems to have come for me. This is his thinking. And of course, Krishna does talk about sannyasi also along the way. If you remember, in third chapter also, he talks about it. He talks about, hey, he uses me as an example. What does he say? If you look at third chapter, third chapter, look at that. 23. Yadi hyaham na varteyam jatu karmanya tandritaha. If I don't do what I am supposed to do, I am an avatara, but still I have my duties. My script is also written, and I am supposed to do whatever I am supposed to do. And if I don't do that, utsideyuhu ime lokaha. All these words will perish because I don't do my duty, and on top of that, people will look at me as a role model, and then they will also become all these hobos, and they just don't do whatever they are supposed to do. And like in our Tamil Nadu, if you look at our Tamil Nadu government, I always spend 10 minutes looking at there's one guy who analyzes national politics, Tamil Nadu politics, 15 minutes a day. This is my only news. And don't think I spend all time reading in the Hindu and Times of India and all that. No, I don't do all that. Those days are over. I just pick some selected portions, and so he analyzes who said what, when, and what do they mean, what they're planning, what are they thinking, and all that. In Tamil Nadu state, every politician, it appears that they are not really governing the state. They are saying doing everything except govern. So like that, it's happening. And so here, coming back, Arjuna is saying, it doesn't, you don't make sense to me. You don't make sense to me. I'm following everything you've said. You don't make sense to me. So sannyasa. So sannyasa, here also he talked about grihastha sannyasa. He talked about in chapter 3 and chapter 4, and then jnani, ajnani, etc. He talked about. So we have to talk a little bit about sannyasa, because Arjuna is interested in sannyasa. And so, what are the two kinds of sannyasas? Well, I am studying the Shastra, and now I have two options. What are the two options? I can study the Shastram while living in my ashrama. Okay, I'm a grahastha, I'm a brahmachari, whatever, that ashrama is there. Or I can take to sannyasa. Okay, I can take to sannyasi. Two options are available for a person. So either I can be a grahastha, or I can take to sannyasa. Sannyasa, again, there are two sannyasis in this context. What is that? One is vividisha sannyasa. Sannyasa for the sake of studying the Shastra. Correct? Because studying the Shastra, those days, studying the Shastra means it used to be mostly a full-time activity. People used to just jump into it. Either you're studying it full-time or you're not really studying it. That kind of leisure was there in the society those days. So you could, and the love and the sanctity for the Shastra was very high those days. And Swami Paramarthananda ji also says that after they finished the Gurukula Vasa, it seems some children will take to sannyas when they are 20 years old itself, 16 or 20 years old, because that is their disposition. And the parents agree, and then the boy becomes a sannyas. That's how it was, it seems. And so that is called Vividisha Sannyasa. Sannyasa as an ashrama, robes are changed, all karmas removed, and then take to studying the Shastra. Okay. So that is called Vividisha. What is the other type of sannyasa? Vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat. Hey, I am a jnani. I am a brahmachari. I am a grahastha. But I also have studied the Shastram and I got it. I understood it. Like Janaka, etc. That Krishna quoted. Because Krishna is covering all ground here. And so that person also can take to sannyasa. But there the sannyasa literally is an ashrama meant, of course, to get jnana nishtha, but karma is all given up, and sannyasa is the ashrama that is meant for that wise person, because that person will not be uh, that person has finished all duties. Really speaking, nothing else is there to be done. Therefore, sannyasa is the next stage, right? That's why grahastha ashrama is there, right? There is a family life is there. Then vanaprastha, transition away from all the duties, slowly let go of everything and give all the charge to children and slowly walk away to sannyasa. This is how the lifestyle is meant to be for us. That Krishna talked about earlier. So with these two kinds of sannyasis, there is choice. We have to see where there is choice, where there is no choice. This is what we are going after right now. Does Arjuna really have a choice? And if he does, where does he have choice? Where he does not have choice? This is the question. Okay. Now, karma yoga and jnana yoga, if you say, okay, those are sadhanas, those are means for moksha. There is moksha, Varama Purushartha. We saw that. That is the primary Purushartha for somebody who has grown out of or growing out of Artha Kama and Dharma. Okay. So for that moksha, what is the sadhanam? Karma yoga is the sadhanam and jnana yoga is the sadhanam. Earlier he said that. Third chapter, third shloka, he said that. Lokesmin dvividha nishtha pura prokta mayanaka jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yogena. So here, so karma yoga is there, jnana yoga is there, and Krishna was explaining karma yoga is needed so that I gain some maturity and freedom from ragadveshas I must gain. Only then I will be ready for knowledge, jnana yoga. Therefore, karma yoga is there, jnana yoga is there, and therefore there is no choice between the two. Because karma yoga prepares me for jnana yoga. Correct? No choice between the two. Like saying, do I have to finish high school? Do I go to high school, or do I take to college? Do I apply to college? Well, I think it's not an either or situation. It is you finish your high school first, then we will see about college. That is the idea, right? So here there is not either or. But Arjuna is thinking it might be either or. Now, there is choice somewhere else. There is actually a choice. What kind of choice? Whether I should be a grahastha or I should be a sannyasi. That there might be choice. Some choice might be there. Okay, some choice may be there. Possible. Because the person can say, we said Vividisha Sannyasa. I want to study this in detail and I'm done with all my duties. I want to take sannyasa. Yes, everybody has a right to say that. I'm done with all my duties and I want to take sannyasa. Not to run away from this thing, but really take full responsibility to the Shastra. Therefore, I'm taking sannyasa. That choice also we have. So Arjuna has that choice, really speaking. Has that choice. What choice? Not between Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga, but between sannyasa and grahastha, he does have a choice. But then, that is only if you're done with all your duties. So if duties are not complete, then you can't take to sannyasa. Nobody will give that person sannyasa. So even though Arjuna does have some choice, any human being has that choice there, still here also, some duties are left yet and people depend on him. Therefore, he can't take to sannyasa also. Okay. So there, and Arjuna is wondering, why should I not take to sannyasa? When you have praised knowledge so much, and he already said in the fourth chapter, 20th shloka. If you look, what did he say? Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Okay. So karma phala karmani abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. So there a jnani was talked about. Krishna was talking about a jnani, a person who knows what's what, and he is a grahastha. He or she is a grahastha, not a sannyasi, and that person does his or her duties to the fullest extent, and still naiva kinchit karoti, does not do anything, because Atma is Akarta is understood. Actions happen, but I am not an agent of action. Okay, that was said. And then in verse 21, Nirashir yata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma. So here a jnani is talked about, but a sannyasi was talked. How do we know sannyasi? Because shariram kevalam karma. That person does activities only to maintain the body. Because the body is kicking, the heart is beating, heart is ticking. And so it's the, the body keeps, so that life has to be sustained. Can't just drop dead. And so the jnani also has to maintain that body. And so shariram kevalam karma. Kurvan apnoti kilbisham, like that he mentioned. And so, and then going back to chapter number 2, verse number 46, yavan artha udapane, for that jnani, for that wise person, how does he or she look at karma? Well, he looks at karma just as much as a person looks for a well of water where there are floods. Water is there all over. And when there are floods, nobody is going to look for a well water to drink, because water is there everywhere. So that is how the wise person sees the role of action as. Okay. All this was explained. And so Arjuna is pretty, I feels that he understood it. And he says, why are you asking me to take to karma yoga? Okay. And so here the choice is not there between karma yoga and jnana yoga, because one is a means, the other is an end. Karma yoga is a means for antakarana shuddhi. Antakarana shuddhi prepares me for jnana yoga, and jnana yogena moksha. We've seen this before. So moksha is an end for which jnana yoga is a means. Jnana yoga is an end for which antakarana shuddhi is a means. Antakarana shuddhi is an end for which karma yoga is a means. Correct? This much we are clear about. And so that Shankara says that Arjuna is not clear about. He thinks these are all options. These are options. And it's also popularly also in our many acharyas also make that thing, saying you have so many options in Hinduism. There are so many options only as far as prayer and japa and other spiritual disciplines are concerned. And the preparation, all of that comes under karma yoga, any option. Ashtanga yoga, you are there, oh, no problem. Okay, you are a Vaidika, you are doing Veda Paranam, no problem. That also is a sadhana. And you are into meditation, and you have all these yajnas, Dravya yajna, Tapo yajna, all these things are there. All these are sadhanas, Pancha Maha yajna. No, I like the environment, I want to support the environment. Yes, do whatever it takes. You want to plant trees. There are people, these days we hear a lot of stories about how plants are being uh, grown and trees are being grown, and like this so many. So UP is doing wonders, and we see a lot of activity happening in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so all these are means, and when you talk of means, there are many ways of getting things done. In that means there is choice, but in the end there is no choice. In terms of jnana yoga and moksha, there is no choice. It is what it is, because it's a knowledge of a fact that Krishna has talked about. Okay. So therefore, um, this previous chapter was called Jnana Karma Sannyasa. Jnanena karma sannyasa. So not talking about a sannyasi, you change your clothes and you become from a grasa, you become a sannyasi. No, not that kind of a sannyasi. It's talking about knowledge. When knowledge comes, then everything just takes a back seat. Everything means what? Your ashrama takes a back seat. Your what you do, who you are, what kind of accomplishments you have, whether you're male, female, all these things takes a back seat. Because that is the power of knowledge. But still, we must keep in mind when we say this, the ashrama still governs what we do. A grahastha becomes a wise person like Janaka. Person cannot walk away from duties. We've seen that, correct? Because the ashrama governs the duty. It doesn't matter who you are. You have studied all Upanishads, you are a master. You are a master Vedanta teacher. So what? Are you a grahastha or what? Oh, yes, I am. Then you have your set of duties. And you must do. You can't walk away from this. So that we must always keep in mind. Ashrama decides what we do with or without knowledge. Okay, that we should always keep in mind. And Shankara keeps reminding us. Karmani adhikritaha, he keeps saying that. And so he reminds us. Those days, because this knowledge and sannyasa used to go together. Okay, those who are interested in the Shastra, they become sannyasis. Correct? These days, it's not like that. It's not like that. And people's Vedanta has become popular. Many people are studying Vedanta. And they're not sannyasis. Teachers are not sannyasis. Correct? And so, genuine good teachers are there, but they're not sannyasis. Therefore, we will see places where we will look at Shankara's commentary and we say, okay, Shankara takes the jnani to be a sannyasi. But here we have to interpret in current times, we need not take the jnani to be a sannyasi. That is just by the way. Okay. So, naiva kinchit karoti saha. That jnani, once he has knowledge, she has knowledge, then that person does not do anything. And even in this day and age, when I look at a person like Narendra Modi, whether you may or may not agree with Narendra Modi, but when you look at a person like that, and the person fasts during Navaratri, and he's doing all these kinds of things. So he's a big inspiration for many people. And if the world leaders are also listening to him, they take him pretty seriously. And he's a no-nonsense man. And he does so much. And there was a time when he went to this Belur Mutt in Calcutta and went to Swamiji and for sannyas. He wanted to take to sannyasa. And Swamiji said, no, you have a lot of things to accomplish. This is the power of a sannyasi. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the vision they have. Look at the vision they have. They are not giving some blanket advice to everybody. There is no blanket advice. They are looking at each person as a person, who you are, what you are, what's your problem, what do you want to do, what are your aspirations, what are your capabilities. Everything is looked at. So Narendra Modi is doing all that. Sometimes when I look at him, I think of Janaka and say, okay, Janaka was a father and all that, but he's not a father here. But doing the duties of a king, doing the duties of a prime minister, president, whatever, right? And then Naiva Kinchit Karoti Saha. You ask Modi ji, oh, what have you done? Hey, people are doing so much. That's what he will say. That's amazing. Because any day he can walk away. And in fact, we pray that he does not walk away, correct? We have to pray that he doesn't walk away. And so we need that man. And so, but as far as he's concerned, Naiva Kinchit Karoti Saha. Okay, we saw that last time. And so, this Modi came to my mind because few days ago, the New York Times put out an advertisement. How many of you have heard about that? Some of you have heard about it. Advertisement makes it very clear. We are looking for an Indian correspondent for New York Times. Okay, that is fine. What kind of person? We want Modi has developed the state so much, and he's appeasing this Hindu constituency, and he's posing a threat to all this democracy and all that. So we want a correspondent who qualifies to be anti-Modi. Without using the word anti-Modi, they put an advertisement. Look up Beyond News and all that. This is not the way a professional company will advertise for people. You write against somebody like that, you don't say. It's not correct. So, but anyway, Naiva kinchit karoti sa. As far as Narendra Modi ji is concerned, he is not bothered about all that. Okay, so we saw where there is choice, where there is no choice, there no choice. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, no choice, because one is a means, one is an end, and jnana yogena mokshaha. So means end, there is really no choice. When you get into a bus, you know what bus you're getting into, and before that you already decided where you want to go. That is why you chose that particular bus. Therefore, what is the choice? End is decided. End will decide what the means are. You may have several means at your disposal. Car is there, bus is there, bicycle is there, tram is there, train is there. You can take anything you want. Okay, so it means there is some choice, but the means is meant to get you to the destination. And so there is no choice between means and end. And so karma yoga is required, and jnana yoga is also required based on the maturity of the person. But as far as ashrama is concerned, there can be choice. There can be choice. Okay. So so again, coming back to Arjuna, Arjuna is justified in asking. Why is he justified? That's what Shankara is explaining to us. And Arjuna is saying perhaps, hey, you already told me karma does not liberate me. Karma binds. Karma bandha karanam, natu moksha karanam. Okay. Okay, that is very much clear in second chapter. If you look at 49th verse, Durena hyavaram karma. Okay, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Then buddhau sharanam anvicha kripana phala hetavaha. You know what that statement says? Let me remind you. Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah. In between, we lost you for a couple of seconds.
Oh, okay. So I was referring to shloka number 49 of the second chapter. Okay, 49, second chapter. 47, I think we all know. Karmanya vadikaraste. Then yogastha kuru karmani. Then 49 is this durena hyavaram karma. And there Krishna is saying karma is inferior to knowledge. Okay, durena hyavaram karma. Yeah, buddhi yoga dhananjaya. Correct, I said it right. So is inferior. And how inferior it is? Durena. Bahut dur hai. It's a distant, very, very distant inferiority. Means distant second. You know? The topper is way up there. The second is nowhere nearby. Okay. That is how inferior karma is. You said, oh Krishna. And so you think I didn't hear all that? I heard all that. I heard all that. And karma, you're saying do karma in order to be free from karma. How is it? I don't understand. You told me karma yoga and you told me jnana yoga. Pursue knowledge, you said. But now you are saying pursue knowledge only liberates and karma binds, therefore do karma. This doesn't make sense. I mean, I have some knowledge. I may not know what you know, but I can understand a little bit of what you said. And earlier in the fourth chapter, you said, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna. Correct? Bahuni me vyatita. Krishna said, I have spent many lives, many births, and you also have spent many lives. That's what you said. So that means what? I have done so much karma. Every janma I've been doing karma only, and I've gathered so much punyam and papam. And now that I've met you, and now that you're teaching me, now is the time to study. Now the time to go for the what do you call that? Go for the goods, go for the whole 9 yards, go for knowledge. Now also you're saying knowledge is superior, but again do karma. As though I have not done anything. You just told me bahuni me vyatitani. So many janmas I've been doing this, doing constantly, doing my duty, doing my duty, doing my duty. Now also I should do my duty. No. This I don't follow your logic, Krishna. That is what he said. I've done enough karma, and so uh, your advice to me does not make sense. Okay, and so you give up karma to take to knowledge. That makes sense. Take to karma in order to give up karma. That does not sound right. Okay. Okay, because knowledge is essentially renunciation of action. And so why not I renounce my duties? This is his thinking. And so the next question appears like that. Sannyasam karmanam Krishna. Punar yogam cha shamsasi yat shreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunischitam. That's what brings Arjuna to this question. That is the background that Bhashikara gives, that there can be doubt. And Krishna may be clear about all these things, but Arjuna is not clear. And because he's just now getting exposed to these things, he never really asked for Atma Vidya. And he got, I think he got a whole, he was just probably bombarded by Krishna. And so there is a background to this question by Arjuna. And so we saw that Sannyasam Karmanam Krishna. Sannyasam Shamsasi. You must copy the word Shamsasi and put there. Sannyasam Shamsasi. You praise Karmanam Sannyasa. You praise the renunciation of action. Okay. Puna Yogam Cha Shamsasi. Again, you praise Yogam, Karma Yoga. You're praising that. And Yetayoho. So look at the second line. The way you should split the second line is like this. Okay, you may note this. Yat Shreya. Yat Y-A-T. Shreya. S-H-R-E-Y-A Visarga. Shreya. That Yat and Shreya will become Yat Shreya, the way it is written in your book, by Sandhi rule. Okay. Next. Etayoho ekam. Etayoho ekam. Tad me bruhi sunischitam. Okay. Etayoho ekam. Etayoho is dvivachanam, shashti of etad. So among these two, this buddhi yoga and karma yoga, or jnana yoga and karma yoga, among those two, ekam yat shreyaha, that which is superior, shreyaha, better, superior between these two, tad me bruhi, that superior one, that shreyaha among these two, tell me, me bruhi, mahyam bruhi, chaturthi, tell me, tell for me, literal translation. Surishchitam, with certainty, tell me definitely what is best for me. This is what he's asking. This is the literal translation of this shloka. And so what did he say? 441. 441. Yeah, yoga sanyasta karma. Sanyasta karma. The one who has given up karma by yoga, and one for whom jnana samchinna samshayam, one for whom there is no more doubt about this knowledge. Okay, all that you mentioned, atmavantam karmani na nibadmanti. For that person, karma does not bind. Karma happens but does not bind. Hey Dhananjaya, you've told me that, hey Krishna. So that's what I want to be. I don't want to be bound. And so let me clarify, teach me more. Okay. And Sanyasta Karmanam, here Shankara says, advocating sannyasa. In that loka, apparently advocating sannyasa. That is how Arjuna took it. And so, and of course, he's also said in 33, Shreyan Dravyamayad Yajnat, Jnana Yajna Parantapa. But also he said, after he gave all these various yajnas, right? Deva Yajna, Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, Pranayama Yajna. All this he talked about. At the end, he said Shreyan. Shreyan, superior. What is superior? Dravya Mayat. Among all the yajnas, this Jnana Yajna is superior. Shreyaha. He said that. And so, the message is very clear that one must seek to know what the Atma is. One must seek to know the Mahavakyam. One must seek to know what the Upanishads say. And that Arjuna is making a point here. And so, why don't I take to sannyasa and study full time? Full time. In the battlefield, he is asking this question to Krishna. So it's a good conflict to have. In the sense, this is where we have conflicts. Conflicts often happen, and when the decisions are not very clear. Swami Paramarthanandaji says, if you have one job, one job offer, and you don't have a job and you got one job offer, what is there for you to decide? Nothing much. Nothing much. I need a job. I have just one offer. So now you have 5 job offers, 5 different cities, 5 different companies, 5 different salaries, 5 different cities. All these things are there. Now what? Now what? now the debate is on. And what should I do? Where should I go? Should we stay in the city or should we move? And this and that goes on and on forever. And then Swamiji gives another example. The boy is getting married, and then Jatakam. Our Indian tradition is we have to look at Jatakam, and girls and boys, everything Jatakam has to match. They have to match, and the boys' side they will match, girls' side also they will match, and so in both houses they should match, and then those two also have to match, and so all these things are there. So one boy is there. They found one Jatakam. They've been looking and looking, and finally they found one, and it is matching. So nothing is there to decide. They're very happy. Now suddenly, what happened? 5 Jatakams have come. All 5 are matching. Then what happens? How do you decide? How does the family decide what to do? And whatever criteria they have for girls and all that, they put all jobs are there. Everything is there, and now confusion. Then Swamiji says. Then they come to Swamiji. They can't decide. So they put the burden on Swamiji. Swamiji, what should we do? Please, we need your blessings. What poor Swamiji? Poor Swamiji. What can Swamiji do? We don't have any experience in marriage also. And they are coming and asking us about marriage. What should we do? So, when it comes to decision making, Swamiji says, we try to shy away from that. We don't want to be in conflicting situations. And Swamiji was suggesting perhaps Arjuna is in that kind of a position. And so here, better, Shreyaha, better. The word, one meaning is better, but of course Shreyas also means moksha. Moksha margaha is Shreyas. Shreyascha preyascha manushya metaha. Kathopanishad. When Yama starts teaching Nachiketa, he chants, he tells this. Shreyasta preyascha manushya metaha tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. So he says there are 2 paths open to any human being. 2 paths are open. One is called Shreyas, another is called Preyas. Preyas. That's why we don't name our sons as Preyas. Okay? There's always Shreya or Shreyas. We have not heard, at least I have not heard Preyas. And I pray that our Indians don't get too creative. And so let them stick with these names. Don't get too creative. Tom and this and that. They want to shorten names and all that. And then they Google, and then there is a Bible of all these names, Indian names and Hindu names and all that. Anyway, Hindu names, you won't find prayers in a Hindu name. That much I think we can be sure about. So, tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. So Yama is saying there is a person called Dhiraha. Dhiraha means Viveki. Viveki means one whose mind is thinking. He has a thinking mind. And that person understands the difference between prayas and shreyas. Prayas is all about dharmartha kama, and shreyas is moksha. And so, which one do I want? Shreyo dhiro viprayaso vrinite. That dhiraha takes to shreyo margaha, and the other person takes to preyo margaha. Like that, he says. So that word shreyas is being used here. And even though Arjuna means which is better, the word shreyas also means better and relatively better. Okay, that is what is used here. So, so therefore here can both be, can one follow karma yoga and jnana yoga at the same time? It appears possible, because anybody who is a grahastha, for example, is also is a karma yogi, because person understands raga dvesha ishvararpana buddhi is there, prasada buddhi is there, but at the same time studying the shastram also. And so in a way it seems possible, but the bit of grahastha, bit of sannyasa, that complete commitment is not possible. And so in that case, either completely a jnana yogi, completely a karma yogi, both are, you can't be both at the same time. Okay. And so like Swamiji says, like fasting and eating. Fasting and eating. You can't do both at the same time. And you can say, no, I'll fast in the morning, and then one meal I'll skip, and then I'll do that. You can say that. But then I don't know whether it will become fasting or not. And then, like we saw earlier, there's a difference between fasting and starving. And so we have to keep that in mind. And so both together cannot be practiced. And so tell me which is better. This is what Arjuna is asking here. So now let's look at this shloka. I think we've already translated it to some extent, but let's translate it. Arjunaha uvacha. Arjuna uvacha is what? Arjunaha uvacha. Remember that. That visarga goes off before a vowel. Arjuna said. What did he say? Krishna. Hey Krishna, you praise renunciation of action. Tvam karmanam sannyasam shamsasi. You praise renunciation of action. You can add tvam somewhere in between. And also karma yoga. Punaha yogam cha shamsasi. You praise renunciation of action and also karma yoga. Full stop. Tell me, me bruhi. Tell me, me bruhi. Definitely, sunischitam. Tell me definitely that which is the better of the two. Tad etayoho yat shreyaha ekam bruhi. Tell me definitely that which is the better of the two. Okay. Let us chant this second shloka. Yeah. Mahesh Subramanian. Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Sannyasa कर्मयोगश्च
संन्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते
संन्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
संन्यासः कर्मयोगश्च
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
निःश्रेयसकरावुभौ
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
तयोस्तु कर्मसन्न्यासात्
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
कर्मयोगो विशिष्यते.
So here he is going to say that karma yoga is better than renunciation of action. Okay. So finally, maybe it will add more confusion to Arjuna, but he is going to say that now. He's going to say the opposite. Okay. Karma yoga vishishyate. Karma sannyasat. From better compared to karma sannyasa, karma yoga is superior, he says. So we'll see that in the next class. My mother is calling me, so I will take that as a call for adjourning this session, and then we'll come back. I'll come back in 10 minutes. Those who want to stay back can please do. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.